Hey everybody, it's Brian with 517 RC Trail Crawling. We're back again to take a look at the Vanquish VRD Carbon and what I call my purple mullet. Straight axle front, portal rear. If you saw the last video, we were trying to establish a baseline of performance for the Carbon. It's stock, it's got some brass wheels on it, but other than that, it's built just like the manual said. I wanted to do it that way so that I can see the improvements as I make them instead of just jumping right into throwing a bunch of brass on it and whatever. So last week we took it out. We hit some lines at Reaction RC in Grand Rapids and I got it on video, and what I thought I saw was an excellent vehicle. The setup out of the box is great. The issues I think I have, I guess you don't know until you've tried to tune for them, but what I saw was a little bit light on the front end. Steep climbs, it didn't act like it wanted to lift one corner, like if you had torque twist or you've got geometry issues. It just acted like the front end just wouldn't quite settle. So that was one problem. And then the inserts that I had were much firmer. I don't have them near me to show you, but I've switched them. So these are softer. I printed out some new ones. I'm using the Next Level inserts from D440. I like them, and when you see the video, you'll get to see how well they worked. I did not change the weight yet. I'm waiting on my parts from Vanquish. It's not their fault. It's the mail. I ordered them last Tuesday when they were announced and released, and still have not gotten them. All right, and then the purple mullet. After we drove it, I thought the turning. I didn't think my turning circle was tight enough. It felt like it was pushing too much. But I don't have wheel time on it, so I'm not sure. And then this guy sits low, and my links were hitting everything. So my theory was, let's stiffen the tires, because there's a Three Brothers inserts, softs, they had nothing in them. And I thought maybe if I stiffen them up, put some tuning rods in, maybe that'll improve the steering. Maybe it'll be a little more crisp. AR-45s should give pretty good turning. I mean, it looks good, but I didn't feel like it was there. I think we're in the mid-30s for overdrive as well. So I did that. I put the tuning rods in, front and rear. And then I wasn't able to move my shock location because of how I have my body mounts set up. So I decided to put some longer Vanquish ends on these 2660s. Give it I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 millimeters more, and then take it out and see what it does. So I'll quit rambling and you can watch the video of both runs. All right, let's go. All right, so we're back at Reaction. I'm going to start off with the mullet. You can see the original run on the left, the most recent one with the changes to the inserts and shock height on the right. Right away, we're struggling, fighting for traction. I don't know. Didn't seem good though. And then next up was the Carbon, taking the same lines. There's a little bit of hesitation. The original moved up better, but I don't know. I think that may have been an anomaly. And then our descent, we're going to take a descent and then we're going to take a hard right and try to hook back up, go over a hanger. So this truck is just too front. I don't know. It's too lightweight in the back. As you can see it, the original did all right. We got a pile of sand at the bottom that someone just added on the most recent one. So I was trying to back up and then, oops. Yeah, it tends to do that a lot. Just wants to lift that rear end up. So you can see the original. I'm hung up on that log, and it didn't really push much. I put the newer setup. I pushed. Now we're gonna go up, and yep, pushed again. Original made it up. Now it felt all right. I don't know why I was pushing. Could have been the terrain. It could have been something else that day. I don't know if it was the tires or not. We're hung again. Pretty much just like we were before, on the links, right in front of the skid. A little bit of juice should get us out. Meanwhile, you can see the original run we're already done. So I thought the ascent felt all right, but I think the harder tires were lacking in forward drive. There's not enough conformity, and the extra height might be a problem. Yeah, the carbon descending, it's a fantastic descender in the stock setup. Shouldn't see really any changes there. I don't think my line was exactly the same on this. Yeah, I went outside the rock on the first one, inside on the current one, but we'll make it through, and I believe we'll see the same wide the push there. Remember, the original is harder inserts, same design but harder. So we get up on the log. Nope, we push a little bit. We'll get up there though, and you can see the carbon with the more belly clearance. It just goes over that log, but it's not a problem on the original. And I think sometimes when you're going over this log, it's just the position you're in, because even this rig now it's hanging, but then it'll just grab. Oh, there we go. Now we're out. So you can see the original still struggling on that ascent. Like I said, you can see the front just a little bit light. And here with the softer inserts, it didn't hesitate. So I know it did on the first climb, but I don't think that was indicative of the overall performance. Now we're going to descend and try to make another turn. And remember, I said I didn't think I was turning well enough? Well, it seems all right. I made that hook, I'm able to come back up. And remember, we're trying to get our driver tire over that knot. That seemed to me, I think I just picked it because I knew it was repeatable and it was a target. The original got a little light, it settled down. With the firmer inserts and the taller front end, we're struggling. It's too light. Original is already hooked and over. Wow. With the changes, I'm struggling to keep that front end down. So, I mean, already, my opinion would be go back to the tires the way they were and go back to the lower front end. Keep the nose down. I don't think it's weight. I think this rig is close to 60/40. I might also put a link riser on, see if I can force that front end down more anti-squat. We had another rig out there, and it was similar to this, cab only, carbon, whatever, and it performed pretty much the same as my rig. So I think both of those could use the link riser, but there you go. Now we'll do the VRD Carbon. Try the same line, hooking around. Now that was like almost 2 weeks apart from when I ran these two, so my lines weren't perfect. But you can see the carbon just, its steering is great. Now the original got up real quick to its position, where I struggled on that log a little bit with the new.
but I don't think so. I don't think I hurt. On the original, you can see I'm pushing, I'm sliding right. With the softer inserts, more conformity, it stayed where I was pointing, and it went up just like I would have wanted it to. Still think it needs more front weight, but like I mentioned before, I got the behind the axle servo mount coming, the stubby kit coming. I've got a winch that's going to go on here, so we should increase the front weight, lower the front weight, and hopefully I don't have to do anything else. There might be some shock tuning, but for as tall as this rig is, yes, on the original, we're still struggling. As tall as this rig is, it doesn't behave like you would think. I mean, compared to the mullet, which is very low, it's it is a difference, but it's not that much difference.
All right, so now that you guys have seen the performance changes, let me know what you think. Give me your comments, whatever, likes, dislikes, advice, whatever you got. Personally, I think I need to go on the mullet. I need to go back to the softer inserts and lowering the ride height, and then throw the link riser on. Maybe that's all I need. Maybe we'll see if that needs more rear weight. Hey, Toby. The VRD Carbon, I like the inserts the way they are, and I'm just gonna wait for the parts from Vanquish, see if front end weight increases, gets lower, and then we'll go from there. But thanks everybody. Don't forget to like, subscribe. See you.